Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Gorilla Press Wrestling News and Commentary. This is your Extreme Rules Results Show. We just got off of the show not even 5 minutes ago. We're raring to go, ready to go, where we're going to cover all of your favorite wrestlers, everything that went down tonight at Extreme Rules. We're going to go over the whole thing. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. First and foremost, I have to apologize for the bit of a break in between the shows, how I couldn't be on the show. I couldn't do the show. It just wasn't possible at the time. I don't know where your guys' hoods are, but my area where I'm at, I'm sure it made national news in your area. Where I live at, we had a 7.1 earthquake. We actually got hit by two earthquakes. One on July 4th, and the next one the very next day. The first one was a 6.4. The second one was a 7.1. We've had close to 2,000 to 3,000 aftershocks. And to be honest with you, that's probably not even a fair number. There's probably been more. There's literally an aftershock like every 15-20 minutes. It's kind of psychotic and wild, and so anyway, you can't help Mother Nature. She doesn't care about YouTube, so she's gonna do whatever it is she wants to do, and she did. But that's not gonna stop me today. We obviously had a very, very big weekend. So I'm sorry for all the missed shows. I apologize that I couldn't do more and keep you guys up to date. But here we are, and we're gonna get it on. We're gonna go over Extreme Rules. So it was a good show. It had a lot of great matches. The big problem that I had with Extreme Rules was just the lack of storytelling, and the big difference from back in the day, 90s, 80s, early 2000s, there was an ability to just create a unbelievable story. No matter which match went on the card, you wanted to see the match. And I kind of feel like that is a big problem that they have. As far as the matches go, they were phenomenal. Great matches. I can't complain about any of that stuff. It was good times. So let's just jump right into it. So first match of the kickoff show was Finn Balor and Shinsuke Nakamura. Again, phenomenal match. Big shocker for me, Finn Balor lost. Nakamura beat him for the Intercontinental title. It was a big shocker for me because none of us on our end, none of us saw that coming. He didn't come out in the Demon. If he would have come out in the Demon, it would have been a telltale sign that he would have won. He didn't come out in the Demon, but he still lost, which was still a shocker, but it was a great match. Great match. The next matchup on the card was Drew Gulak, and Tony Nese going for the WWE Cruiserweight Championship. Again, great match. To be honest, the storyline on this was actually quite phenomenal. If any of you guys are following, the Cruiserweight division or anything like that, they've got great storylines, great wrestlers. If any of you guys caught the Evolve show last night, great show. Really fun to watch. I'm not real big on the indie scene. I don't watch a lot of the indie scene. But I will say, after watching last night, I think I'm going to be watching more of the indie scene. It was a great show. This match was no different. Drew Gulak got the win over Tony Nese with a great match. First match of the night. Undertaker, Roman Reigns, Shane McMahon, and Drew McIntyre. Good match. Good match. They did a lot to hang the old man back a little bit. Undertaker took a table shot. He got put through a table. You don't see that very often with the Undertaker. I have to say, that was a great surprise. And if that wasn't enough, Undertaker got a coast to coast with the trash can. As you guys know, it was Extreme Rules. Some of the matches were extreme, some of them weren't. And Undertaker took a few hits that I wasn't expecting him to hit. Undertaker winds up getting over on Shane, winds up pinning Shane. Roman and Undertaker win the match. Really, really cool showmanship in the middle of the ring between Roman and Undertaker. Undertaker walks up, gives him a kind of a pat on the shoulder, basically tells him, hey, this is your yard now. Everybody saw it. Roman had a clear smile on his face that he probably didn't mean to do, but I'm sure that whole line wasn't rehearsed, and for Undertaker to give him that kind of endorsement, I'm sure made him extremely proud at that moment. And I felt proud for him at that moment, because I truly believe that Roman Reigns is eventually going to be the new face of this company. The new face of this company, because he's going to put storylines over. At some point, it's going to start to happen. Great matchup, you guys. They did really good. Next match was the Revival and the Usos. I'm not going to lie, I got this match wrong. I thought the Usos were going to go over on the Revival for sure. The Revival did. The Revival won. They had a really good finish. Really good matchup. I can't complain about this whatsoever. And I called this match wrong. We'll see how it goes on the next few shows. The very next match was Aleister Black versus Cesaro. Aleister Black went over on Cesaro in again, good match. Something that you would expect out of a guy like Cesaro and a guy like Aleister Black. Great contenders, great athletics. I can't really complain. It was a bit obvious that Aleister Black was going to win, mainly because of the fact that, hey, you've been building up this character for the last couple of months or so. He's got to go over. So that was a good match. Next match, this one fell way short, way short. Bayley went up against Alexa and Nikki. Alexa and Nikki announced that it was going to be a co-championship reign, meaning they were both going to be champion. They've teased this in the past that they were going to try and pull something like this, and they never went through with it. This was no different. I was for sure thinking that Sasha was going to make an appearance tonight, especially with the BS that they pulled with "you don't have any friends" type gig. Maybe they did that just to try to see if people would actually take the bait. I took the bait. A lot of the people that I know took the bait. If you listen to other podcasts, they took the bait. Sasha didn't show. Bayley winds up winning it fair and square. Pins Nikki. And then I figured, well, plan B. And I figured this before the show. If Sasha doesn't appear, then we're going to see a Alexa turn on Nikki. Excuse me. And we didn't see that either. We just saw them basically cuddling in the middle of the ring. Huge disappointment. Out of all the matches this entire evening, this was the one match, in my opinion, that fell way, way short. No excitement, and it had one of the bigger build-ups, to be honest. And it just didn't. It didn't add up. It was a big disappointment. This type of match should have been, honestly, at the beginning on the pre-show. That's the way I believe. You guys leave comments in the boxes. Let me know what you guys think. Next match of the night, Braun Strowman versus Bobby Lashley. Last man standing match. let me tell you guys something right now. This, to me, in my opinion, was one of the best matches of the night. The reason why I believe that this was one of the best matches of the night, it went on. It kept going in terms of excitement. It was a true last man standing match. Braun Strowman, you can tell these guys were putting everything into this because it went for a long time. And big men don't usually go for long matches. This was a long match. And you can see it. Their shirt, or Braun's shirt, was completely drenched. His hair and head was completely drenched. Lashley was completely drenched. These guys were putting in everything they had into this match. And it produced. It was a great match. In fact, to be honest with you, if you listen to the crowd tonight, Philadelphia was dead. And I'm going to tell you right now, Philadelphia is normally one of the most opinionated cities that you could possibly go to in the world of wrestling. And this match livened up the crowd. Everybody was into it. They dug it. They were going for it. They could tell that they were putting everything into it, and they gave them feedback in a very positive manner. Braun Strowman got a huge cheer. Lashley got a huge cheer. I mean, great match. Next match of the night, you have your triple threat match. You have the New Day, Daniel Bryan, Eric Rowan, and Heavy Machinery. This was a fun match. It was fun. It was a shocker. I got this match wrong as well. My buddy got this one wrong as well. New Day actually went over. And by the way, Braun Strowman, he won that match with Bobby Lashley. Had to throw that in there. Going back triple threat. So New Day went over. They won. They're now six-time WWE Tag Team Champions. It was a good match. Heavy Machinery's got some wicked athletic ability, and this was a big man match. All the big men in this match were the biggest performers in my book. Daniel Bryan did his thing. He did his usual nonsense that makes Daniel Bryan who he is. And Daniel Bryan's a great in-ring performer. He did do his job. But this was definitely a match of big men, and it went over really well. It was done right. The match ended with the shocker for me with New Day, and that's how that match went. Next matchup of the night, you had Ricochet, AJ Styles for the United States Championship. Again, you guys, great match. Great match. You would expect this out of AJ Styles and Ricochet. Obviously, AJ Styles is now a heel, so he got some interference from Anderson and Gallows because the Bullet Club is back. That happened. However, the match was still great. I'm not a big fan of interference stuff like that. However, I get it. I've been a wrestling fan for a long time. I understand it's necessary. However, these two put on a great performance. AJ Styles went over and won the United States Championship from Ricochet. I was talking to a buddy of mine. I was talking with John as well. We both agreed that we believe that AJ Styles was going to go over on this match, which he did, because Ricochet's young enough he can afford to lose it, quickly, because he'll have more opportunities in the future for sure, because his talent's way too damn high. Next matchup of the night, KO and Dolph Ziggler. Now, let me say this. This match, okay, I originally believed that this match actually should have been at the beginning of the show. It should have been a free one. Didn't end up that way after it was all over. If you would have blinked, you would have not seen the match. Basically, when the bell rung, the Dolph Ziggler walked up to KO, started talking shit, slapped the piss out of KO. KO turned around, kicked him in the gut, dropped him in a stunner, pinned him 1, 2, 3. It was over just like that. KO then proceeded, grabbed the microphone, and dropped another pipe bomb that we have not seen since CM Punk. He's setting up for a Shane McMahon KO show matchup. Why I think they're doing this is because everybody's starting to get tired of Shane McMahon being in the light. They're tired of him taking up all of their time. And I agree. I think he needs to piss off. I've seen his stuff before. I can only see the coast to coast so many times before it gets boring. I can only see him jumping off the top rope and putting himself through a table so many times before it gets boring. This is going to be the storyline that puts Shane McMahon in the back. There is reports that Shane's wanting to do more back logistically and work with people in the back. There are there's other news saying that he's basically tired, which I understand. He's not that young. And so this is going to be the storyline. KO and Shane McMahon. KO is going to put him down, and then we're going to be able to get different storylines. That was the end of that. Next matchup, Kofi Kingston and Samoa Joe. Now, this match, obviously, it was for the WWE Championship. This match, I was certain. And after I was talking with John a little bit, I was certain that Brock Lesnar was going to cash in on Kofi Kingston in this match. We were going back and forth and thinking, okay, where do you think it will happen? Because earlier in the show, Paul Heyman came out and reassured everybody that Brock Lesnar was indeed going to cash in tonight. Against who? Kofi or Seth? It winds up, we wound up thinking, well, they're probably going to put Kofi and Samoa first. And because you got to think about the time too. We still had 40 minutes. Yeah, it was about 40 minutes left of the show. That's a long match for both people to hit up. 25, maybe with a little 5-minute little video input, in the middle of each match. Maybe that's the case. I don't know. It was 20 minutes apiece. I don't know. It was actually, I'm sorry, you guys. It was about an hour. It was actually right at 7 o'clock when we still only had 2 matches left. So we weren't 100% certain where it was going to happen there. That told us for sure that Brock Lesnar was coming out. We just didn't know when. The match goes on. Kofi and Samoa go. Great matchup. They were doing phenomenal. Samoa is amazing in the ring, and I really hope he gets an opportunity to hold that title. Kofi wound up going on top. We were sitting there. We were waiting. Kofi was standing in the middle of the ring. Nothing. He never came out. I'm thrown off. I'm like, okay, well, that was that. We're gonna have another Seth and Brock Lesnar segment. Go on to the next matchup. You had Seth Rollins, Becky Lynch, Lacey Evans, and Baron Corbin. Winners takes all. Extreme Rules mixed tag team match for the Universal and Raw Women's Championships. This match, I really don't know what to say. I have to agree with a lot of people on this one. Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins suck as a power couple in terms of TV. They suck. They're awful. Lacey Evans and Baron Corbin make a better couple than they do. This match kind of dragged on a little bit. Once we got towards the end, that's when we started seeing some excitement. At some point, Baron Corbin Becky Lynch started running towards Baron Corbin in the ring. Baron Corbin hit her with the end of days. Seth seen it, and he went ape shit. Started hitting him, broke a kendo stick over his back, started hitting him with the chair a bunch of times, and then proceeded to hit him with the curb stomp 3 times. Finally, Seth gets the pin. Lacey actually didn't even come in because she knew that Seth had snapped. And she's like, I don't want nothing to do with this, and so that was that. They retained their titles, and then that's when you heard it. Brock came out, cashed it, basically gave Seth about 3 or 4 suplexes, told Heyman to cash it in. They cashed it in. Hits him with an F5. Ladies and gentlemen, Brock Lesnar cashes in his Money in the Bank and wins the WWE Universal Championship. Brock Lesnar, for the 3rd time, is your WWE Universal Champion for the 3rd time. I'm not 100% certain what I think about this. Now, the crowd was into it. I'm not going to lie. The crowd was into it a bit. I think Seth deserved to lose it. His performance with Becky was shit. I don't think it was his fault. However, it is what it is. They had to get rid of that Money in the Bank contract. We kind of went over some ideas where we kind of believed, well, maybe Kofi will come out at this point and stop him from cashing in on Seth. That didn't happen either. And we figured, well, maybe somehow he'll fail. But then, at the end of the day, they can't let Brock fail. It's Brock Lesnar. They built up this monster of a character. They can't just have him get a free reign, get something that you can cash in at any moment that you want, and have a weak opponent and then still lose. It just doesn't make any sense. It ended the way it was. That was pretty much your Extreme Rules for 2019. I give this show a 7. And the reason why I give it a 7 is because most of the matches were great matches. Most of the matches were good. The problem that I had with it was the storylines just weren't there. I kind of feel like a lot of these people put so much into their in-ring ability that they fail on their out-of-ring ability, meaning the microphone. You have guys, that were great microphone bombers. The Rock, Stone Cold, even guys like Jake the Snake, Roddy Piper. Obviously, guys like that have natural charisma, natural ability. They're able to channel kind of who they actually are and put it into words on a microphone, and a lot of people today don't have that ability, and they can easily have that ability if they go the extra mile. Acting classes, things of that nature. Do your thing. Didn't happen, doesn't happen, and I think that WWE needs to take these guys and say, listen, if you really want to go somewhere, tell a story, not just in the ring, outside of the ring. And hopefully that changes, especially with Paul Heyman, because Paul Heyman actually was the guy that was responsible for Stone Cold Steve Austin's microphone ability. He channeled Austin's anger and pissed off attitude and channeled it and taught him how to utilize that to make a killer promo. And he worked with Austin one-on-one for a long time, while he was in ECW. And with Paul Heyman taking the realm tomorrow on Monday Night Raw for the first time, we're finally possibly going to start seeing better stuff because of that. Paul Heyman knows what a good promo is. You guys seen it last night when he came to Evolve. If any of you guys caught that show, you've seen it day in and day out. When he comes out and takes the mic, you listen because you know it's going to be a bomb promo. CM Punk, CM Punk, as much as a lot of people don't like CM Punk, he was killer on the microphone because he had this charisma, this natural ability that Paul Heyman molded and told him how to do it. And that's why CM Punk has some of the most legendary pipe bombs in the industry. And so we're going to see that. And hopefully Eric Bischoff can do the same thing on the SmackDown side with those guys. So we'll see. We'll see how things go. Overall, like I said, this show is a 7, and it's only because I think the stories just didn't sell enough. So with that, you guys, that's the end of my whole rant with this show. And again, you guys, I apologize for not making these shows on a regular basis. Here lately, I think I have a great excuse. 7.1 earthquake is quite scary. I was actually in a movie theater watching the Spider-Man movie when it actually hit, and I can tell you right now, it wasn't fun. It was quite a nightmare. People were freaking out. It wasn't a fun day at all. I have family scattered everywhere, so of course, I have to check on them and check on my kids and things like that. On top of that, I was getting phone calls from friends all over the place. I've got friends in Brazil. I've got friends in the UK, and I was getting phone calls from them while I'm trying to talk to family, and it's like, everybody's got to slow down. Let me call you. So thank you for bearing with me. I hope you guys understand. You guys, thank you for joining me on the Gorilla Press. We appreciate you very much. We'll see you guys tomorrow night after Raw, and we'll see you guys again on Tuesday night after SmackDown. Thank you guys for coming to the Gorilla Press. You guys have a wonderful evening, and stay away from earthquakes. All right, you guys take care. Thank you.